Good afternoon, traders. It is Thursday, October 28th, 2021, 12:07 p.m. Just following up with you all. This is the same current day as the previous video. I broke down GBP USD, GBP JPY, and Euro GBP and had entered some positions. If you didn't see that video, check back on it right now. But if you already seen that video and you're more focused on gold, here we are looking at gold. So I want to get started with following up where we left off a couple of days ago on this pair. I had explained that I have a bullish bias, but I believe that gold was actually going to be dropping for some time, and it actually did fall. And let's take a look at price action in the past couple of days. So we see last time I did break down gold, I said that if we can get a buy stop entry, and that was around 1810, that we would then be able to be in the markets, and price never went to that buy stop and actually went the complete opposite way and fell about 215 pips to 1783. So that's what we're looking at right now, is we're looking at that bounce and that reaction from that zone. So if we do look at a closer look at that zone, we can see a significant area of support that did happen in that area. So I just want to highlight just a brief range that we could have been looking at that would have gave us that pretty nice ratio to enter long. So this was the area of support, and based off of the reaction of that area of support, we can see that a nice area to enter long was not that long ago, 1794. So from 1794 upwards, we do suspect this move to continue on and my buy stop to be entered and triggered. But what I like to do right now is I like to actually get into this trade before my entry is triggered, because hey, if you have a real skill when it comes to day trading, you'll be able to determine when a trend is healthy and when a trend is not healthy. So from what I can see right now, this is a very healthy trend, and it's definitely flowing the way it's supposed to flow on the gold hourly. And let's take a look at this after I mark up some more parameters. So I just want to box this out. I want to draw some highs. So we do have a hard resistance above. I don't even need to draw a line because it's a follow-up from the previous video. So there is a hard resistance above. I don't know why it's not marked up on this chart, but I'm going to just mark up. So this is our soft resistance right here. There's not really much going on right there in that area, so I do suspect price to continue on up from there. So I want to go to the higher time frame to find our hard resistance. And on the higher time frames, we just mark this. There we go. You can see this a little bit better. So on our higher time frames, you can see the symbol gold is right there. I want to be able to pretty much look for an area where I believe there is a high probability of a turnaround, and that does look like there's an area right here. So there is a region slightly above that breakout zone that we may still need to see price break from, but it's a minor area to me because it wasn't severely tested. And as a matter of fact, if we could move this back, we can actually see that it already there's already a line through that area. So there's no need to mark that up again. We just know that we just wait for some sort of movement above there. I mean, on my smaller time frame, I already have a reason to get in before that line is hit. But if you're looking at this from a macro approach, this is definitely the region and area that I would wait for. And then there's another area that I'm going to be looking for profits. It's going to be around here, around 1832.45. That's kind of where I'd be looking for profits for the day if price does continue to the upside, either the day or the week. Now, here's the thing. There's USD news, and we know that USD news is going to manipulate the market. So I wouldn't really be trading gold for the next day because, as I stated in my previous video, USD news, this is gold against the US dollar. This isn't gold, euro, JPY, or gold, euro, or gold, yen. This is gold, USD. So just remember, gold USD is not the price of gold. It's not gold currency. It's not spot gold. We are not trading spot gold. So if there is USD news, there's a high chance that gold USD will get manipulated. It's not spot gold. If spot gold is what we're trading, then we don't have to worry about XAU USD being manipulated during the US session. But because it is what we're looking at, I do suspect possible a downside pull. So we can see where the buy stop is at the moment, but I'm actually going to raise that buy stop because of the news. So I would like to just see a very nice clear break above that zone, and that would indicate that the news momentum is going to push price up and continue going for the rest of the day, which is definitely going to be something great. That's the only way you do trade the news, and I'm going to go over that in another video for my students that are in my private coaching. I will go over the exact way I do trade the news and what to avoid and look for. But let's get back into this so I can sum this video up. So right now, I'm going to stay out of this trade. I'm not going to enter a counter move because that's not what I do. I try to avoid counter trend trades until I'm a master at counter trend trading. I just keep it out these videos. So we're not looking for an upside move. We're looking for a downside move. And if we're looking at this chart right now from the other perspective, we can see that it's actually rejecting a line of resistance. There was a very strong bearish movement, and price, this bull trend that is currently happening, it's a bull trend for this bear trend. So all it's doing is testing this bear trend. So when I do mark up my Fibonacci retracement, we can see that there was a bear trend right here. So all price had done was basically invalidated this bear trend, and more than likely it's either going to reject and come back down to those lows, and if it does go back down to those lows, that's a loss for the day. So you don't want to enter a trade when it's not really in the right setup for you, or else you're going to be holding the losing bag. So we got about an hour and some change before the London session, and I want to just predict the move for that specific session leading into the drop to the lows. So another thing that can happen is price could definitely continue to surge up about another 80 plus pips and reach the high of this range even higher. But if it does not go up and close up by this point, then we're not bullish, because one thing that can happen is it can do all of this bullish move, snag my entry, and do all of that before news, and then whipsaw me and pull me back against my position once the news gets entered. So seeing that we are, less than 8 hours away from the high impact US news, I'm going to stay away from this pair until after that. And any entries that are nearby, I'm actually going to just wait and keep those a little bit farther away, because I do not want to be caught up in manipulation. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Now let's look at a downside potential where we could potentially re-enter. And I am looking for re-entries around 1794. There could be a possible move around that point if price stands still around there. And then there's another possible re-entry around, I would say, 1784. So either 1794 is a nice re-entry zone, or around 1784 or these lows is what we're going to target for a bull run back to the upside once that happens. But for the next day or two, I'll definitely keep a close eye on gold and stay away from that pair as we move into the next session. I want to take a brief sneak peek at Gbpaud just to see where this is at, although this is not something that I plan on including in the video. We are doing very well on time, so let's just do this real quick. GA, long story short, I'm still bullish on GA. I do see a potential bull run happening as we speak, and I do see this bull run lasting for at least 108 pips. So if I were to take a trade based on this, I would take a GA trade, and this simple, I'll just do a quick sample intraday trade so you guys can see what I am working with, exactly how I do this. So that's 107 pips to the upside. I do know that there's potential room and space for farther up. That's not my main focus. I'm just focused on right now here. Okay, so will give me a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio right there. And to be quite honest, this should hold up. You guys see that? This should hold up, but there is a slight possibility that price could definitely close down and hit these lows right here. And then if that happens, then you're just basically, it's stop hunting buyers, and then it's going to pull back up. So I like to give it some space to the downside in case that does happen, because like I said, I do believe the bias is bullish, and if price does come down this low, does any type of movement far enough away from me, then I will be looking for a second entry to the upside. Might have a lower target for the day if it does not go directly in my favor, but this would be the setup that I have for GBP AUD for the day. And you know, it could hit smaller targets. It may not even, like I said, if it goes straight up, this is where I'm targeting. If it messes around, you know, it does anything that's not, how would I say, that's not aligned with my analysis, then I look to possibly take price only up to here for the day. So we're going to see exactly, sorry about that. We're going to see exactly what happens and where it goes for the day. And I'll be looking at taking maybe some profits off at 1.836 as TP1, and TP2 will be 1.84146. So take some profits here, leave some running, and once it reaches here, we'll be able to tell at that point where we're going to take the market and when we're going to enter and exit at that point. So right now, it's one step at a time. We have GA. We have diversified our portfolio. I have managed my risk. I have risk-seeking trade, and I have a risk-averse trade on this portfolio that you guys are seeing right here. GA does look like a risk-averse pair because I'm trading on a pullback. Xauusd would be a risk-seeking trade because I'm trading on a breakout. So hopefully you guys caught and picked up some new vocabulary in this video as well. And I am looking for that break for a risk-seeking trade, and I am looking for a slight pullback for a risk-averse trade. Just to really highlight one more time, where I would be entering a gold long would be somewhere around this area. I would see the setup around 1780, 1776 zone. That's where I would be looking for my second long setup. So let's see if it drives down there for the week, or if it continues to drive down or settle like I said earlier in the video. All right, guys, that's it for gold. GBP AUD also snuck in this video as well, but I'll follow up with you all at the end of the week.